In this tutorial, I'm going to talk to you about inheritance in Python classes. Just like classes and functions, class inheritance helps reuse code. So in this video, I'm going to use the traditional explanation that deals with different animals. As you can see, I have a class that models a cat. This cat class has two methods, one that meows and another that lets it walk. This print statement and this print statement, they're just examples. In real programs, you'd have like 15 lines of code or hundreds of lines of code for every method in a class. But this is just an example. So now, let's say we wanted to create a dog class. So here's the dog class, but what if I wanted the dog to be able to walk as well? Well, I would copy this function, right? I just copy walk over here and put it over here, right? No. Remember, repeating multiple lines of code is never good in programming. Because as you know, if we change some code in the first version of the duplicated code, like if it was buggy or something, then we'll have to change it in all occurrences of the repeated line, so we'd have to change it here and here. So this is where inheritance comes in. This is when we make classes part of other classes, or make classes inherit functions from other classes. With inheritance, we would make it so that both cat and dog inherit from a different class that has the walk class, so they both can use the walk class. So let me show you what this actually means. So let's create an animal class up at the top. This will be a class that all the other classes will inherit from, because cats and dogs are both animals. So we will make them inherit from animal. All the animals in this program that we're writing are able to walk. So it's safe to say that we can just put walk in the animal class, because there's no fish or anything like swimming or something like that. They all walk. So now let's just put the walk method inside of it. Make sure it's indented correctly. Okay. And now we will remove it from the cat and dog. But how do we make it so that the cat and dog classes both inherit the animal class? Because right now the cat and dog can't access this walk method. So how do we do this? In the class definition, we add parentheses, and inside these parentheses we add the name of the parent class. Classes that inherit from other classes are called child classes, so the cat is going to be a child class of the animal class. And the classes that the children classes inherit from are called parent classes. So animal is the parent class of cat. It's just like how a child inherits certain qualities from their parents. So in this case, cat will inherit or be able to use all the methods from its parent animal class. We'll also do this with dog as well. Great. Now the cat and dog classes both inherit the walk method, but they still have their own methods that are private to themselves, meow and bark. When you put the name of a parent class in the parentheses of another class or child class, the child class will be able to inherit all of the methods from the parent class. So to reduce repetition, we added the animal class that both cats and dogs are a part of. So now let's create a dog class. Let's create one cat and one dog, so we'll do dog1 is equal to a new dog. And we'll make a cat as well. That's equal to a new cat. And as you can see, the walk method is available to both of them. There's no squiggly lines or anything, and there will be no errors when we run this, so we can do cat1.walk as well. And the dog class still has its bark method, and the cat class still has its meow method. But as you can see, the dog class doesn't have the meow method. The dog and the cat class technically don't have anything to do with each other, except for the fact that they share the same parent. But the dog class cannot access any methods from the cat class. So if I tried to run dog1.meow, we get an error because dogs don't meow, so that's why we didn't add that method there. And so we get this error because, well, we don't have this method available to dogs. So now we can create as many of these as we want, and we can add names to these and stuff like that. Let's add a name as well, so we'll add an init function. And we'll make it so we can pass in the name of the cat, and we'll set self.name to name. And we will copy this for dog as well. And note that it's okay to copy init functions. It's okay if they look the same. These are different classes, but they just happen to have the exact same init function. But that doesn't mean that we're technically repeating code. This is fine. What we gotta do is when we create these classes, we can actually just say dog1 is equal to a new dog. And let's pass in the name John again, because I always use that name for these examples. And then dog2 will be a new dog, and this will be Alice, because I also always use that example. And we'll create a cat that's equal to a new cat, and let's do Derek. And then let's create another cat that's is equal to Jack, okay? So now we have 4 objects in our program, 2 of which are from the dog class and 2 of which are from the cat class. They all have individual names. And let's say we want to do something with these names. So as you know, we can make it just print the names. So we'll do self.name plus and then a colon. This will just say who is meowing at this point. Actually, we don't need to do that. We just do this. All right, so let's also do that for bark as well. And now we can make different things bark or meow or whatever. So we can make dog2.bark. We can make cat1.meow, cat2.meow, and then dog1 can now bark. But we can make dog1 bark multiple times. You know, you can do whatever. So when I run this, we get each of these just meowing and barking, and it's crazy now. That's how you would do that. I just decided to add more of the init functions so that you could understand what that does, but we did learn that in the last tutorial. So hopefully you're able to understand this. If you didn't, just like the last 2 tutorials, make your own inheritance classes, make your own init functions, do whatever you need to do to get used to this, because the only way to get really good at programming is to program. So make sure that you understand classes fully, because they're a very, very useful feature in programming.